Howdy there, folks. How are y'all doing? My name is Rees, and welcome back to another episode of our Sky Factory 3 Let's Play Adventure. And Jenna's here as well.
I am so scared.
Jenna, there's no need to be frightened. I am but a man. A man on a mission to grow lots of melons.
You're a man on crack.
That's not true, Jenna. You know what? When you say things like that, people believe it. You gotta rein yourself in a little bit. Welcome back, though. Jenna, what's your favorite book series?
Harry Potter.
It's right, and we went into more detail last episode. If you didn't watch that, go watch it, you losers. Although we didn't really go into very big detail on that, did we?
If you aren't watching these in progressive order, like sometimes we'll refer back to things.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what that's like.
Oh, man. You know, the other day I ended up watching one of our videos because I was trying to, check quality across different videos. Mm-hmm. And I went back to the one where we talked about going to see Han Solo.
Yeah.
That was May of last year. We've been doing this
wild.
for a long, long time.
These.
We're
old now.
I think we did this before we went to go see Avengers Endgame.
Oh my gosh.
There are points in my life that I remember that are bookmarked by us recording this. That's crazy.
Yes, that is wild. There were big things that happened, and they were all happening during this.
Madness, absolute madness. And as soon as we end this series, of course, life's going to get real boring.
Yeah. What am I gonna do on a Saturday night?
I've gone to the Nether as requested multiple times, and
That's what I'm gonna do on a Saturday night.
Oh gosh, there's a letter in there from Germ Silver who asked me to check it out. I think before the last time we recorded, so I'm gonna find out what this actually is. He said it was something for the mob farm. What are these little things? There's little stars on the ground. I don't know what those are. Help with your mob farm. He's given us some witch water, some extreme vector plates, and some drops of evil. I don't know what any of this does, so I guess next time when we record, we'll have a tutorial about how to use it. Courtesy of Germ Silver. That'd be great.
Thanks, Germs.
I think that the drops of evil you use in dirt somehow.
To make me.
Yes, you make Jenna with a drop of evil.
Yes.
That's how that happens.
Just one drop to balance everything else out.
The direction it points. Okay. Hey, Jenna. Come here for a second.
To the Nether?
No, I'm over here.
I'm a-comin'.
Okay, good. I want you to do a test, if you don't mind.
Oh, that never ends well.
So, tell me when... I'm over here in sort of the main area. Just having some fun here with vector plates. Don't stand on the vector plates, whatever you do.
Oh!
Yeah, see what I told you.
Well, I was flying, so I thought I'd be safe, but I was too low.
Come on over here and stand on this very first vector plate, and let's see what happens. Whoa! Oh, you went too fast. Oh, I did it. Oh my gosh, what does that look like? What does that even look
so
like?
Weird.
Here I come, lining up for another shot. Oh, I didn't do it. Oh, dadgummit. What did I do wrong? Here I go. Oh my gosh, I just teleported. That's how fast it is.
Over to me.
That's madness.
I quite like
Whoa!
These came from Germs.
These came from Germs. These are the best.
Germs. Yes, you gave us hours of entertainment.
I think we're supposed to use them in a mob spawner, but I don't really want to.
No, I want to. Let's keep these around.
We
should make a jogging track.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
What we could do is we could put them down next to our farm, and we could zip along the farm.
Wonderful.
Oh, but first, I need you to pick the glowstone we're going to use to light up our farm. I'm going to go take a nap because I don't...
I keep on thinking you mean that literally, and I have to be like, no, it's in the game.
It's in the game, like EA Sports. It used to be in the game, but now all that's in the game is microtransactions. You suck, EA! Boo! Anyway.
I don't know.
Jenna, can you take a look at the glowstone and this diamond chisel to tell me
Sure.
how you feel about these different styles of glowstone? Just pick the one you like, and I'll start filling in the floor here. In the meantime, I'm going to ask you a question, Jenna, which is, how does one tame a bear?
You ask it nicely.
To do what?
To be nice.
You ask the bear nicely to be nice.
Yeah.
And that's how you tame it.
Ooh, I picked my favorite, I think.
Okay.
It's the slanted.
You want the
so
slanted?
So what do I do now?
You can just select
it
and throw it back at me so I can remember what it is. I'll come over and collect. Thank you very much. If you pick it back up, dadgummit. Oh, thank you.
That's
thank you very
not
much. Did you just cue that at me?
I cued it at you.
Jenna always cueing her stuff at me.
I know.
Slanted. All right, I'll make up a batch of those.
It looks cool. It's kind of like, ooh, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So, Jenna, you're walking through the woods, and you see a bear.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at the bear, and the bear looks at you, and no words are exchanged. No words need to be exchanged. Wordlessly, you communicate with one another, and it says to you, I'm going to eat your face. What do?
Please don't.
And the bear goes, what do you do now?
Oh my gosh. I yodel.
You yodel at it? Let's hear it.
Like Larry. You know,
The yodeling
this is
veterinarian
a
of the Alps.
song for your poor sick penguin.
Sure, yeah.
But in reality, it was the nurse all along. Spoilers.
If I remember that one correctly, didn't he get eaten or mauled by the bear?
By a bear, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, okay, so here's the real life hack. Keep your nurse well paid.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that checks out.
If you don't watch VeggieTales, this is the most confusing thing that's ever been said.
You know what I remember the most about that one is it only came originally on the Silly Songs with Larry
It's
special.
so good. It's one of my favorites.
It was originally in the one with Love Songs for Mr. Lunt, but it got cut by Alfred, who hates Silly Songs with Larry.
Alfred
Why
did they put Alfred in charge of that? He hated that.
I don't know, but he cut it and he got Love Songs with Mr. Lunt, who sang what might be the greatest song of all time. Because he loves you.
I think that's everyone's favorite, but it's not mine.
With all his heart. And there is nothing that will tear you to. I want that played at my wedding. I'm sorry, wait, what did you just say about that?
I think it's everyone's favorite, but it's not my top silly song.
What is your top silly song?
Pizza Angel.
That's a pretty good one too. Yeah.
Because it's not just that it's pizza. I think it has the best bop. Like you could sing that one at any point in your life and it would fit.
That's a good one. I also like Barbara Manatee.
Barbara Manatee was great. That's the one like I grew up on. Though,
the song and the setup
on the VHS
for it
tape
are so perfect. I like a lot of Boys in the Sink tracks as well. They do good stuff.
Oh yeah. I didn't like their newer ones, but the old ones were good.
I haven't seen a VeggieTale in a long time. I think Netflix owns them now, and they just make garbage cartoons where they have weird
It does
eyes.
not spark joy.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I'm not into that sort of thing. Like, if that's what my nieces are growing up with, they might as well not be growing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't bother. Stay a child. Watch the old stuff.
The old stuff's where it's at. There was some quality content there. Oh, my gosh. Where's God When I'm Scared? Actually, that one's a bit boring. that was for the first one, though. They had some work to do.
They didn't know where they were going with it yet. They've come a long way.
That one was the same one that at the end of it, you know, Bob and Larry are like, God made you special and he loves you very much. And then it fades to black and then fades into the story of Daniel in the Lion's Den. It's like completely set apart from the main episode. It doesn't even
know what they were doing.
Yeah, it didn't have the Bob and Larry setup. And there's a voiceover from a woman who sounds like she's trying to put me to sleep. I'm pretty sure that this was some sort of a test, right? Like a government test. Like,
like they had a great narrator in the episode with Esther.
Yeah.
They never used him again, but I really liked him. I thought his voice was quite enjoyable, and he just never came back, and I was so sad.
I think I've only seen Esther once at a friend's house.
Loved Esther. Oh my gosh, that was my favorite. But probably because it was the only one that starred a girl at the time, to be honest.
Oh yeah, you know that's true. You say that, but I grew up thinking that Junior Asparagus was a girl.
Well, you would be incorrect then.
Junior Asparagus is very obviously voiced by a woman because for some reason people who do casting think, oh yeah, little boys sound like grown women.
Yeah, that happened a lot actually.
Well, sometimes it works because sometimes you get a Timmy Turner that does sound like a little boy. Yeah,
that's what I was gonna go with.
But then sometimes you get Junior Asparagus, who's very clearly the voice, like just voiced by a woman, and they call him Little Mister, and I'm very confused about what's happening. So that was a bad call in that situation. He probably was as well. But yeah, VeggieTales is good.
VeggieTales is great.
VeggieTales is great. Jenna, the bear is coming at you. What are you going to do?
play dead.
You're going to play dead. Okay.
If I plead and I yodel and nothing works, I play dead. And then with my final breath as he comes towards me, I lift up one feeble hand and I grab his paw and I ask him to tell my mother that I love her. And then I let out my dying breath, and he feels so guilt-ridden that he leaves and goes on a cross-country journey to find this woman who he does not know but feels a moral obligation to. So when he comes crashing through her wall, tears in his eyes, my mother will know in my final moments I was thinking of her. But little does he know, I got back up when he left, and I'm coming for revenge.
You're getting the Wonder Woman theme song for this revenge fight, by the way. All right, so the bear is talking to your mom. Your mom is just looking at the bear, and the bear's like, Jenna, and you kick in the door.
No, my mom definitely communicates with animals.
You know
Let's
what,
just get that out there.
You've got a good point. All right, so they're having a conversation. Maybe they're sipping tea with honey, because you know how bears do.
Because bears do.
And they're talking about how dead you are. You kick in the door, and you're wielding, what is your go-to weapon?
Shotgun.
You got a shotgun. You got a 12
sawed-off
gauge.
Shotgun.
Oh, a sawed-off shotty. Okay.
I tell my mom to duck down. I flip the couch with my foot, and it's all-out war in the living room.
Dang, this is intense. All right, so the war is broken out. You're fighting this thing. It's, no, you know what? You've shot it. It's dead. You did it. It's done.
Yeah, that's what you think.
Oh, no?
It's an undead bear.
Zombie bear.
I know.
Okay.
But
undead zombie bear's coming at you. You got a sawed-off shotgun in your mom's living room. She's just watching this.
yeah, she's just peacefully like, oh, I guess this is happening now.
This is just another Tuesday, I guess.
Yeah.
Pretty
this happens a lot with me. So anyways, I shoot him up. He's looking pretty cool. And then that's when I realize there's some untapped potential here.
Okay.
So using my mom's amazing communication skills, I convinced the bear to join up with me, and we start a vigilante crime-fighting unit across the city.
What?
Me with the sawed-off shotgun and the undead zombie bear with bullets pelting his face and chest, and we take down every crime syndicate in Texas.
That is amazing. And then, of course, you've got to be elected governor after something like that.
Because
that's the sort
I don't know.
of thing. Well, I'm just going to say the people of Texas would be really into that. A woman going around with a shotgun and a zombie bear killing crime syndicates, that's the sort of thing a Texan would vote for in a heartbeat.
They offered the job, you know.
Yeah.
But I had to turn it down because I don't think I can handle that much responsibility. I don't want to become corrupted.
I understand. What you're afraid of is you've got a bit of a Dumbledore complex where you fear if you were given the power, you might want to abuse it in some way.
I'm like Gandalf, Dumbledore, Aslan. Just roll them all up into one.
You're a you're a gay lion?
Yes.
Okay, well, there we go. Good to know. Glad that we got that sorted out.
So, anyways, that's how you tame a bear.
All right. Well, there's the answer to that question that someone asked. Who asked that? That was Blood Elf. Now you know Blood Elf. We've actually got some questions from Nate, who says, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? I feel like we've answered that before. Haven't we answered that on like every single one of these?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's been
every time we've
asked.
given a different answer.
I stand by my original answer, which is that a woodchuck would chuck as much wood as necessary for it to chuck in order for it to feed its family.
I think that the woodchuck would only chuck until I burst through his door and revealed him to be the slime bag that he is, and then my bear eats him.
Wow. I love that the Wonder Woman theme song is your song. That's your theme song. Should we give you your own theme song?
I don't know if the world's ready for that.
You know what I would like to see is like the opening sequence to you and your Zombie Bears show is really graphic and gory. You're like cutting up criminals and he's devouring them.
The woodchuck's just hanging in the corner.
Yeah, but then the theme song is like, Jenna, going on fun adventures.
You know what's scarier than anything?
Bear, eating all the bad guys. and getting blood in their hair. Jenna and Zombie Bear. Something
Sounds
like that.
An anime theme song.
Yeah, did I mention your show is animated?
No.
It's a Japanese anime. Jenna. I'm sorry, but I've spoken to the animation department, and they insist that you wear a leotard.
I would rather die. I will shoot you with my sawed-off shotgun.
I'll talk to them, but they're really adamant about this costume here. I'm sorry.
I have some executive decisions I want to make. Like,
okay, let's hear
the
'em.
first one being, like the scariest music you can do is?
Did I say leotard? I meant unit. Well, I don't know. What's the difference?
Slowed down
I'm sorry, go ahead.
version of a children's song sung by a child. That is the scariest theme song you can have. Yep, that's what my theme song is. And then on top of that, we are just going to town murdering people everywhere. Blood's flying onto the screen. It's
I don't like
good.
this. I like this less and less with every second. This is scary. I don't want to watch this show.
You have to.
Am I the editor?
You are the editor. You don't have a choice.
Oh, great. Fantastic. This is one weird anime, but then again, I guess that's just anime, isn't it?
No. I've been burned by it once before. I can't go back.
The one anime you've watched?
With the one anime I watched. Okay, it wasn't a bad anime. It wasn't bad. I just hated how all the women's only personality trait was
their
that
bodies.
they weren't wearing clothes.
Yeah.
I was trying to find a nice way to put it.
I don't think all animes are like that, but I can understand
the one I
why
watched
that would be
certainly
off-putting.
was.
Well,
Drove me bonkers.
I mean, I imagine that's one of the big appeals for the person who suggested it to you.
I was watching it with the person who suggested it to me, and a new character was introduced that was like a feline, girly, giggling thing with a tail.
Oh, goodness.
And I was like, burn it with fire. And they looked at me with like shock, and they were like, why? And I was like, I think you know why.
This thing is beautiful. I dream of this thing at night. That's why I've got the poster.
He did admit that it was really weird, but he didn't know why I was so adamantly wanting it to die a violent, painful death.
Death is pretty extreme, Jenna. I don't know. I think
it needed to die.
Okay, I'm not going to argue with you on this one. You can have this opinion.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. You know, I'm here for you. That was great. I'm glad that we've sorted that out. We've got Jenna and the Zombie Bear coming to a television. It's coming to Crunchyroll soon. You can get it exclusively on what's the other one? Funimation. It's going to be fantastic. Is it going to be dubbed?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe I'll try to do both.
Can you speak Japanese can you do the voice acting for the Japanese?
Yes.
Okay. All right, that'd be cool. What Japanese do you know?
Sushi.
Oh. Okay. I think this is going to be...
So it'll just be that word over and over again.
What do we do? Sushi. I know konnichiwa.
Sushi.
Konnichiwa.
I know kawaii.
Oh, that's so kawaii. Jenna-san, that's so kawaii. I'm so ready for this.
It's gonna be really good.
I'm gonna destroy this whole building here.
I feel like that I took that question many different ways it wasn't supposed to go, but I'm glad we're here now.
I'm really satisfied with how we answered it, and I'm glad to report that we've got more questions.
Good.
I've heard you mention being homeschooled. What was the best and worst thing about it, in your opinion? Currently homeschooling my son, says Walker Hound. Cool.
Oh,
yeah.
good for you.
That's probably going to end up well. All of my homeschool friends are like doctors and nurses and
we're like
wealthy
the
business owners. Well, I don't know. Well, I was going to say all, but like I've got one friend who's maybe not doing quite as well as the others.
Yeah.
And then there's me as well. No, I mean I own a house. I guess that's pretty good. And then you have your own business for crying out loud.
I started my own business.
So actually, yeah, good call on that one with the homeschooling, Walker.
Honestly,
best and worst part.
Being a parent homeschooling, I could never. But like the parents that do are just so brave. I would be so scared.
Yeah.
So props to you.
Yeah, right. Good,
first
lots
and
of support
foremost.
for you.
Yeah.
My favorite part of being homeschooled is probably that you're not limited to what,
and you can't speak.
Right, you can't. We don't talk proper English when you're homeschooled, are we? We're not. we don't get a good education in how to speak and how to write and how to read and all that. So,
you sound like a Mary Poppins character.
I sound like I'm trying to do a British character because I'm in a Mary Poppins movie, but I shouldn't be doing this. They should have just hired a British lad.
You don't need to call out Dick Van Dyke like that. He tried his best.
They only had him in it because he was a known name, and
he was a hottie with a body. And
Americans don't know English actors. We've got to put Dick Van Dyke in it. That's going to bring in the kids.
Dick Van Dyke was my major crush. I rewatched the Dick Van Dyke Show so many times my parents forced me to turn it off.
That's a pretty good show, though.
I was obsessed with
it. As I was trying to say, though, my favorite part about being homeschooled is that you're not limited to what the public school is doing, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. So that means schedule. I think a lot of people have to build their vacations and things around what the public or the private schools are doing. The private schools usually just kind of fall in step with the public schools, which means if you want to go on a family vacation, you're going at the same time that everyone else in the country or everyone else in the state is going on a vacation, and it's terrible, it's busy, it's crowded with a bunch of snot-nosed rats who are not taught to obey and respect their parents, like a homeschool kid
All those darn
Shots
public.
fired! Shots fired! But yeah, so you're not bound by any kind of schedule. And that also applies to curriculum. I finished everything you're supposed to finish to get a high school degree. Not everything, almost everything by the time I was going into my, I guess, junior year. That's one of the downsides of being homeschooled. You never know what grade you're in. It's not a big deal when you're homeschooled. You just start the next year of school. People would constantly ask me.
I just this year learned that I, what grade I am in college.
Yeah, there you go.
I was like, oh my gosh, that matters now. People ask you.
People ask
so I had to figure out.
It's such a weird thing for people to ask you, too.
It's the most embarrassing thing I've ever said. But anyways, yeah, continue.
It's so weird to be walking around people like, and what grade are you in? I'm like, does it matter? Is it relevant? Why are you asking me? Get away from me.
13th grade.
But because I'd already finished, I had some classes that had to be finished, right? So I couldn't just graduate early. I guess if I really applied myself, I could have. But my mom was like, look, you've covered all the history classes. What do you want to do? I was like, I don't know. In-depth, deep dive into the Crusades? Mom was like, yeah, okay. So, that was just this fun extra history course that I took. Do I remember any of it? Well, no, like most of school, I've forgotten all the bits that don't directly apply to my day-to-day life.
True.
Like most of algebra, I don't. I have no idea. But I remember a lot of geometry because I use it a lot on the daily. How come the vein mine isn't working?
Nate is here.
It's Nate's fault. Nate joined the game and lagged out the server.
Hello, Nate.
Oh my gosh, squids are flying in the air. Things have gotten a little bit chaotic. I'm thinking about changing server hosts. We'll discuss that another day, though. Yeah, so I like one of my favorite things about being homeschooled is that you're free from the schedules made by other people. Mm-hmm. And that's my favorite part. And my least favorite part is the weird questions people ask you and assumptions that are made about you by homeschoolers or by non-homeschoolers, particularly like grown adults who should know better but insist on asking really dumb questions like, so do you even like get to socialize? No,
I hated that.
I've never spoken to another human being in my life. Thank you for asking.
This is my first time out of the house. Papa forbade it before.
Papa forbade it. Well, you know what it's like. You wake up in the morning, you do 6 hours of Bible study, and then you go help Mama with the cows.
And you churn the butter.
You must churn my butter. Exactly. Well, you got to build the hoop skirt first.
Yeah.
Was that a pivotal moment in your life, Jenna, when you got to make your first hoop skirt?
Oh, such a big moment.
It's a big moment
such
for
a big
homeschool
moment.
Kids. Like, of course, first off, we were part of a homeschool group that met pretty routinely.
All the time.
And then also, I was at like church every Sunday and Wednesday. And then I had all my homeschool friends. Cool thing about being homeschooled is you don't have like classes that are locked into a certain time. It pretty much just when you finish your work during the day, you're done.
Yeah.
So I would, about the time I learned to drive, that thing that I just learned how to do. By the time I could drive, I would just blitz through my schoolwork as quickly as possible, hand it over to my mom, and she'd, grade it while I just went to, Steven's house or something, and we hung out. So I think it's better. I like socializing better as a homeschooler because it's not forced on you. You get to kind of choose the terms. Because when you're public schooled, you're just sort of forced into, you have to see these people every day. You don't really have a choice. Whereas when you're homeschooled, you're like, okay, I choose to go hang out with my friends today. And then also Wednesdays and Sundays, I did speech and debate. So, I saw people, I think we met on Tuesdays, if I remember correctly. I went over to your house a lot because me and your sister, we did a whole lot of math homework together. So, because my mom, when we got to like geometry and algebra, was like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm going to send you to a class. I was like, you know what? Fair enough, Mom.
Thanks,
so
Mom.
We get plenty of socialization. I don't know where that like myth or rumor comes from. I think, we're out of time. Well, I was just going to say, I think a lot of people have maybe interacted with a weird homeschooler at some point.
Yes. We all know one. Like, even homeschoolers will tell you.
Yeah, we all know that one stereotypical homeschooler. But the thing is, they are definitely the minority. Most of the homeschoolers I know. I mean, particularly if you go to like a speech and debate. Did you ever go to a speech and debate tournament, Jenna?
I practiced for one, and then I got bored and I didn't do it.
Well, there you go. Everyone there is extremely well-spoken and very social. So
Yeah.
I think everyone's very well-adjusted. Maybe too well-adjusted. They're all too confident. They're not nervous enough talking to other people. I think in order to get
I feel like that's kind of an act of defiance.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Well, I guess we can carry on this conversation next time.
Oh, yeah. And also, I have an idea for one last final touch to the melon farm.
Oh, yeah? That's good. That's cool. Can't wait to
Yeah.
see that. So, look, thank you folks for watching. God bless you, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Peace out, home skillets.
Biscuit. Yeah.